Welcome back to Playing the Bounce with me, Dalin Oliver, and a couple of really cool guests. Very, very excited for today. And today's player, oh my word, a Springbok, via Mzansi to the world, through to France. This man knows all the laws. Why? Because he is Raymond Rhule. Away. Obviously, I got my man Benedict, who knows everything about rugby, how to spell it backwards, the origins, even how to play it. Oh, folks, we are so excited. We are in for a treat today from Mzansi to the world via the French Riviera. I don't even know if I got that word right. It's absolutely horrible. Bonjour, oui. Our Springbok, our brother who's out in France playing for La Rochelle. Ladies and gents, start the clapping, start the screaming. Benedict, I need you to get excited, man.
I'm actually buzzing. I'm buzzing.
You're buzzing. I'm buzzing. Your head's in mind for Raymond Rhule. Here we go. Pew. Raymond, what's happening, brother?
No, all good. I'm all good in you, my man.
Cool, man.
Can't complain. Life's good.
Where in the world are you at this moment as you're recording? I want the weather description. I want precipitation. I want the area. I want everything.
No, I'm at home. I'm at home in La Rochelle. We've had a bit of cold weather the last few days, but a rain here and there. But today it's all good. Sky's clear, sunshine. So about 14 degrees, 15 degrees, I'd reckon now. So, I mean, beautiful weather for the stage we are, yeah.
Yeah. Benedict, before you get into the nitty-gritty of rugby, can I just say that Raymond is too smooth? How cool does this guy look? Like, he reminds me of that 80s and 90s, early 2000s hip-hop era. You know when P. Diddy was coming out with Bad Boy Records?
He's one of those guys.
You got all the sweat.
Yeah, just trying, man. You know, at the end of the day, I'm still just a small boy from Bloem.
Don't be that guy.
Don't be that
guy.
You're that small boy from Bloem.
A small boy from that small town. Yeah.
I'm just gonna jump in straight into the rugby now.
Sure.
Dalin can pop it. You're that small boy from Bloem. You're a black boy, and you play professional rugby. You got all the way to the top. The pressures, the challenges. It's not easy to make it in rugby. Like, walk me through your journey. Like, you've gone over so many hurdles. We're gonna touch on one or two later, but talk to me.
Yeah, I don't know where to start. I think there's a lot of ups and downs when it comes to rugby, and I think as a young boy you never really understand it, or you don't know it, and to a certain degree you don't have a lot of people that were ahead of you that's gone through similar battles, you know. So I think here and there you have some mentors that can assist you with that, but generally speaking you're winging it. You just have to find your way through this maze, and hopefully at the end of the day you come out on top. Look, sometimes it's not easy. You hit dead ends, but you start again looking for that path. And as I said, hopefully at the end of the day, you make it out to the finish line, you know?
So, okay, let's talk about this a little bit. Like, you became a Springbok. You know, this, I think from those I've spoken to and those that strive to be a Springbok, it's almost like the pinnacle. Wear the green and gold. You sing the national anthem. You probably at your happiest. The pay rise comes as well. You know, there's the match fees and the renegotiation. The contracts are different now because you're Springbok. And with that pressure comes also responsibility, and comes also the extra attention from the fans. I mean, you've got every Tom, Dick, and Harry who doesn't even know about rugby. You've seen people that do not even understand the game coming, oh, he can't tackle. How do you deal with that criticism? How do you deal with becoming almost like a scapegoat sometimes?
I think that is part of the game. I think any and every aspect of life has a certain aspect of that or facet of that. I think in my perspective it was tough, but it's something that needed needed to happen. You know, sometimes your path is not as simple or as easy as everyone. But as I mentioned earlier, it's just you've got to run your own race, you know, go through the maze. Being scapegoated or not, I mean, that's neither here nor there, depending on who you speak to. But I think from my personal capacity or from my personal standpoint is that, rugby in its entirety is tough. There's a lot of money that's involved. And at the end of the day, it's a job. And we are considered professionals. And I think in any high-performing professional environment, if you make mistakes, and especially costly mistakes, I mean, heads have to roll.
You spoke about narratives, and I like narratives. Everyone's always fighting a narrative. Everyone's dealing with a narrative. You moved to France. France is beautiful. There's some parts of France that are so beautiful.
Yeah.
Unlike moving to other places like Australia or England, France has the language barrier. How have you adapted to that language barrier? Because from what I understand with the French, you need to immerse yourself in their culture. You need to be able to communicate with them. And how have you handled that?
Well, I would imagine. I mean, for me, being originally from Ghana, coming to South Africa, I had to basically immerse myself into the culture and you know, get on board, you know. And I think with that, growing up with that mindset as a kid, it helped me coming here to France, you know. Sometimes people are scared to try new things and scared to, to put themselves out there, which I don't think is something that I have. So it was easier for me to come here and just throw myself in the deep end and find my feet. So basically, this all comes down to my upbringing.
You speak about the deep end, and I can hear that you making sure that you adapt according to every situation. Have you picked up the language? How's that? How was it picking up the language?
Yeah, no, I can speak. I mean, I'm not 100%, but
give us some daily interactions. Let's hear.
Like what? I mean, depending when you get.
So we know that bonjour, that's the standard.
Yeah.
So if you want to say I'm going to a rugby game, like how would you?
Depends. You might say je vais jouer un match de rugby. That's I'm gonna go play a rugby match, or je vais regarder un match de rugby. That's I'm gonna go watch the match. It depends.
Wait. Can I get an exciting one? I want to know, how do you pick up French girls? I mean,
I wouldn't know. The
I'm
one
not
thing
saying
I
you
can
know,
say is
but
that
I'm sure you've heard. I need advice on how to go say, "Hello, ma'am. Can I buy you a drink?"
You can say that. I think it'll be a simple thing like bonjour, madame, comment ça va, or comment allez-vous, depending if you want to be a bit more formal. And then you just ask her simply, tu veux boire un verre avec moi? Do you want to have a glass, but a drink? Moi, that's it. I mean,
I love
what she said.
I love it. Dude, I love this because this is off-field rugby skills that people are not aware of, that you have to adapt to.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the ladies, I'm talking about rugby here, guys. I'm talking about rugby and life.
100%.
I like you mentioned that informal.
Yes.
Setting. You played for the Barbarians. I watched the Barbarians documentary.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of you. And one of the most amazing things was listening to you being DJ, playing some of those tunes. How was it in the Barbarians? I mean, you got to play jouet. I mean, Barbarians rugby is jouet rugby.
Yeah, jouet.
It's working with Scott Robertson and the DJ work. Like, do they relate? Can they understand? Like, can they flow?
I mean, it was an amazing experience, and I think they couldn't have brought together a better group of just guys that could just work together well off the cuff, man. I think I was amazed with Scott as well, or they call him Laser. But it was just amazing, man. The characters coming together. Some guys couldn't speak a word of English. Some guys only
Wow.
spoke French. So it was interesting. But in French, you use something like a Bordeaux is a mixture of different wines, and when you mix them, it tastes good. And I think we got a good mixture of different characters and personalities. And then at the end of the day, we could produce on the field. Obviously, it's jouer rugby, but it's also winning rugby. I mean, it's a big misconception with the Barbarians is that they just want to go out and play. I mean, as a sportsman, everyone wants to win the game that they're going to go play, no matter whichever jersey you're putting on.
Yeah.
So, no. And I mean, being DJ, that's me. Everywhere I go, I mean, I love music. It's relaxing and it's therapeutic. So everywhere I go, I take my music with me.
Who's the top 3 on your playlist at the moment? Because you're a big music fan. Let's hear.
I've got Sete that's playing a lot of KO. Then I've got this song by the little boy, the one "It's a Beautiful Day."
Magic, eh? Magic.
I love that song at the moment. And then All Eyes on Me. I mean, I have to pay homage to AKA a little bit.
Yes,
so
rest
that's
in
my
peace.
top 3 at the moment.
Back to a bit of rugby. The game's evolving. Like when you made your debut, it's I think the game's completely different now. What aspects are different then and now? I mean, you also gonna have to walk me through your try in the Champions Cup final. But as a back 3 player, walk me through the changes and evolution of the game from then to now in possibly the simplest terms for people.
Game has changed a whole lot. The wingers have to be more playmakers to a certain degree. But yeah, I think ultimately rugby is always rugby. No matter where you're playing it and when you're playing it, it's a universal language. So yeah, much has changed, but not much has changed.
Raymond, from my side, before we let you go, I can feel that you're such a lekker bro, just fits in everywhere, and you're a people's person. There's love. You know when you can feel love when you speak to someone?
I try, yeah.
Do you feel like that South Africanness was something that allowed you to settle in easier? You speak about Barbarians, now in France. Do you feel like that was something that helped you to normalize a new culture and in a different land?
Yeah, 100%. I think I mentioned a little bit before. It's just that with South Africa being a nation with so many cultures and so many languages, that when you meet someone new, you want to make them feel as comfortable as you can. So when you can speak their language, or at least try and speak their language, they feel that you're making an effort, and it makes the interaction go a whole lot smoother.
Raymond, thank you so much. I'm gonna leave off with one last question.
Yeah.
It's always special to work with great coaches like Roland O'Gara. And it's also always special to score in a final, especially if you win. You scored in the Champions Cup final. You work with an extremely passionate coach. Talk to me about that, and then that's a wrap.
Where would I start? I think with Ronan, I mean, he's a great guy, and I think before everything, he's family orientated. And I think what I enjoy about his coaching as well is he tries to individualize it in terms of what players' needs are. Because look, at the end of the day, yes, you're a number on the field, but you're also a person outside of the field. So depending on what your family situation is, what you need, he's accessible like that, which not a lot of coaches can be. But I think that aspect of it allows the players to play for him a whole lot more and to be more connected. And then looking back at the Champions Cup final, and that try was, look, the whole week, all we were hearing is that we had no chance. And I think all of us took it personally, especially me, because I mean, at the end of the day, who says we don't have a chance? No matter
Come on,
there's against. So, I mean, we went in with the approach of we're going to chuck the kitchen sink at them, and if they can handle it, at the end of the day, in French, we say bien joué, and you go home, you shake their hands. If they can't, then we go home with a cup. So that was the approach to the game. Go there, chuck the kitchen sink at them, and they couldn't stand the 80 minutes.
Thank you so much, mate. Have a lovely week. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
you
Don't
guys.
lose your swag, Raymond. Don't lose your swag.
I always be me, boys.
Away. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers.
There we go. Just like in the game of rugby, you too can play the bounce in life. It's very simple. We call it the change science. So head over to the Change Exchange and get involved. Why are you still looking at me? Click. Get involved. Change Exchange. Away.